Hello everyone, Bob here. Today we are going to look at Scream Factory's release of Carrie. It is a 1976 film directed by Brian De Palma. It stars Sissy Spacek, Piper Laurie, John Travolta, Nancy Allen. And it is an adaptation of Stephen King's first book, and it is actually the first adaptation of any of Stephen King's written works. So first, I'm going to show you what I've got with the Scream Factory package, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the film. Unfortunately, this one didn't come with a slip. It's just the just a standard snap case with the cover. There's the front, the side. There's the back. Pop it open. There's the discs. As is the case with almost all of Shout or Scream Factory's releases, it has a reversible cover. Here's the back. It's pretty much the same thing that's on the back of it as it is now. Then here, the front, if I can get a hold of it. Bit embarrassing, but anyway, it's the theatrical poster. Sissy Spacek plays Carrie White. She's a 16-year-old girl who is very shy, and she's constantly bullied by her peers at school. She has an incident at school, and I'm not going to get into what it was or anything. I'm just going to let you watch the movie and see what it is for yourself. And she ends up being sent home, and the kids that were bullying her all have detention. And when one of the girls, played by Nancy Allen, gets mad and doesn't like the detention, she gets hit with a 3-day suspension and is banned from going to the upcoming prom. Another girl, Sue Snell, played by Amy Irving, feels sorry for Carrie and convinces her boyfriend to take Carrie to the prom instead to help build her confidence and make her feel better. Chris, the girl who was got banned from going to the prom because she was upset about being in detention, plots revenge with her boyfriend, who's played by John Travolta. They decide to kill some pigs at a local farm and drain their blood, and they put it in a bucket. And I'll get to what they do with the bucket here in a minute. Carrie, meanwhile, discovers that she is developing some telekinesis powers, and her mom, who is a very religious fanatic, decides that she's a witch. Now, her mom being a religious fanatic is important to the story because her being that way is part of the reason, it's a major reason why what happens to Carrie at the beginning, detention, and the whole process wouldn't have taken effect, I guess. So if her mom wasn't, what I'm trying to say is if her mom wasn't so fanatical, the events of this movie probably wouldn't have happened. So her being that way is a major plot point. Chris enlists the help of her friend Norma, who is played by PJ Souls, who, if you watched my video from yesterday, you'll know she was in John Carpenter's Halloween. Norma is a prominent figure in the school student council, so she rigs the royalty thing for prom, the king and queen, to where Carrie and Tommy win. And so that gets Carrie and Tommy, who is Sue Snell's boyfriend, who she asked to go out with him because she felt sorry for him. She thought it'd build confidence with. it got them up on stage, and so Chris and her boyfriend have this bucket of pig's blood, and it's up above them. And when while she's up there, Chris pulls the string, and the blood dumps down on Carrie, and the bucket falls and hits Tommy in the head and knocks him out. But Carrie thinks about what her fanatical mom said about they're all going to laugh at you, and she freaks out with the telekinesis and kills everyone in the gym. Afterwards, while Carrie is trying to walk home, Chris and her boyfriend Billy try to run her over, but Carrie senses they're behind him and causes their car to flip over and explode, which of course kills them both. After Carrie gets home, she cleans all the pig's blood off of her. Then her mom tries to kill her. She actually stabs her. And Carrie attacks her mom with a bunch of knives and stuff and end up killing her. And then Carrie causes the house to catch on fire and incinerate both of them while they're both in there. Carrie is a pretty decent horror movie. The whole prom scene, that with the pig's blood and everything, that's pretty iconic. The acting is good. The pacing is good. Everything about it's good. It's a fun horror movie. It's a good adaptation of Stephen King's work. In fact, and I would put it in. It's definitely in probably the top 5 best adaptations of any of King's work. It is very faithful to the book. I mean, there are a few things that are a little different. Some of that was done for budget reasons that is different, but it really didn't take away from the work as a whole. So I want to give this film a very solid 8 out of 10. It's a pretty good horror movie. I recommend you check it out. As for the video and audio quality on this Scream Factory release, so the film Carrie is, it was shot and it's kind of soft looking, and by soft I mean it's made to kind of have like that dreamlike state to it while you're watching it. And this is a 4K scan of the negative. Of course, it's not 4K because it's on a Blu-ray. It's just a 1080 picture. But even though the image is what you call quote-unquote soft, it has pretty good detail. And if you have the old MGM Blu-ray, you'll notice that the MGM Blu-ray everything had like a redder tint to it. The red was kind of pushed more in this one. So the film definitely has a cooler look in this one. I don't mean cooler as in it looks cool or anything. I just mean temperature-wise, I guess. It looks cooler. It's not as red looking. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It looks pretty good. Being as old of a movie as it is, and the way it's shot, like I say, it's supposed to look like it's got a dreamlike state going on. I don't think you're ever going to get it to look just really good. I mean, that's probably as good as this film's going to look. I don't know. 4K, you might get some interesting things going on if you had HDR, and you might get a little more detail and stuff. But that's watching it on my 75-inch TV. It looked pretty good. Audio-wise, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It sounds good. The film only actually has it's got for the 5.1 and the mono. Of course, the mono would be what it had in the original theatrical release. 5.1 is what I watched it on just because I like the sound, the surround sound. I do watch things once in a while with their original theatrical soundtrack, but it's serviceable. It's good. It's not quite as all as encompassing as you would hope, but it's still pretty good. So I want to give it an 8 out of 10. That's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and please consider subscribing to this channel. I try to have new content daily. It doesn't always work that way, but that is my goal. Hit the bell notification if you do by chance subscribe. That way you know when the next video is live. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter. I try to keep everything up to date there. Just search for Bob the Film Guy and you'll find me. Stay safe, everyone. Happy Horror Month. This is Bob, signing off.